All right. Hey, Shalom.
Wow.
Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, as well as the men that toward them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for blessing us with another opportunity, as we always got to say, because the Lord, the one who feed us with these topics, the information, whether he put it on apostles, elders, brothers, spirits to find it all, certain things to be said, it's all through the Lord. But another day to prophesy, bring forth the news, and a little excited about this one, which I'm sure if you've been in a watch, which if you're amongst Great Millstone and the School of the Prophets, the House of the Prophets, you should have heard about this thing called the Genius Act. The Genius Act, which I know the Elder Yashawamba, he did a video on it like a week ago. You had certain brothers touch on it. And we'll kind of go into it tonight too, Lord willing, and we do have the Elder Ahrayahla. He touched on the path to the MOTB stablecoin, and we got all the videos, the links in the chat. So it's already there if y'all want to check out, the videos, because we ain't gonna read everything and we ain't gonna watch everything. But Elder Tazapah, before we hop into it, do you have anything?
Yeah, just to kick it off, like you were saying, Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. All right. And we're in the days where the Lord has sent forth his prophets, all right, to feed his lamb. And that was one of the charges that Yahweh Shai gave to his disciples. All right. Well, Peter specifically, to feed his sheep. All right. Now that extends to all of us today with our hands to the plow, which you see guys left and right now, they're taking their hands from the plow. So, that should make all of you that are watching, because it does me, it makes me value this truth that much more. Because the Most High, he's exposing the charlatans. It's been a long time coming. There's more to be exposed. You understand? But in the midst of all of that, you can't lose sight that the Most High has sent pastors in these last days to feed you all. All right? With knowledge and understanding, which Isaiah 33:6 says is going to keep us stable in these times. All right? If you don't mind, I'm gonna grab that right quick.
I got you right here.
Let me do something right quick. Yeah, you can bring it out if you don't mind.
It's Isaiah chapter 30.
It says wisdom and knowledge, but Jeremiah, he says it says knowledge and understanding, which leads to wisdom. All right, so it all goes hand in hand. But you got it out.
It's Isaiah 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure."
Right, and that's the fear of the Lord will lead you to your salvation. Because at the end of the day, that the fear of the Lord will lead you to your that fear of the Lord. It'll keep you on that straight and narrow. All right. And what you see in the world today is a lot of non-fear. People doing any and everything under the sun. They don't have a thought of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, or even, what they consider or call God. It's just a lawless, godless society. All right. And this is what's coming down the pipe as the brother's getting ready to go into. All right. This is judgment from the Most High. This has never happened in mankind where you're going to have measured, metered, metered and monitored money. And as Israelites, we've always dealt with silver and gold and, livestock, such things of value. That has been taken away from us as a punishment. And this devil has been put over us. And now this devil is getting ready to come down with measured or metered and monitored money. All right. And shit. Hey, let's get into it.
Khan, Shalom, Tala Akim, Aqua, who tuning in. You thumb. See the brother Lamar, Alawap, brother Taz, and brother Barra, Yahweh. I want to read this real quick from the comment board, and we can hop into it. It's a beautiful way to start it off. And going through this information, and first and foremost, man, even watching Elder Ahrayahla, and the elders in Dallas. I know the elder require Quam in England. When they go into those algorithms, the path to the MOTBs, that's the vids to watch. And even that's how we, this Thursday live, we got that blueprint, the idea of weekly doing videos on news from them, from the algorithm, the brothers Ahrayahla, myself. Well, initially we started off just, random brothers was kind of doing lessons. Remember Elder Taza Paul on Thursday? It was just like brothers doing lessons, getting together, doing lessons, so on and so forth. But eventually it took the route of following the elders in Dallas, the path to the MOTBs, the algorithms on watching the news, going into those things, learning from them, so on and so forth. So make sure, y'all subscribe to Remnant Save 144 Bob, which is, Elder Yashawama backup page, but that's where the Elder Ahrayahla do his work at. So subscribe to that, hit that bell icon, man. And we'll play a good portion of that video. So I want to read this from the Genius Act. Well, the brother Yahweh to put this up about the Genius Act. It says the Genius Act. The water. It says the Genius Act, officially the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, is a U.S. federal law that establishes a regulatory framework for payment stablecoins. And the word of the day gonna be today's stablecoins, because we gonna hit this news, and through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Awashai, you're gonna see America is just using that word stablecoin to hide CBDC. That's it.
Right.
Look, you got it.
Yeah, no, you good. This is the act. This is our modern day Federal Reserve Act. That's what that is. You're looking at it. This is going to usher in, as the brother's getting ready to go into, the currency for the next generation, as Esau would think. All right. But this is the framework of it. Remember, the scriptures say they frame it mischief by a law or by law. Well, this is it. All right. This is what this is how they're gonna do it. This is how they're gonna do it. All right. The Federal Reserve Act 2.0. All right. What would you call it? For the digital world. But yeah, brother, you got it. Salakia.
Now I bring that out for you. This is Psalms number 4 and verse 20. It says, all right, KJV, it says, Psalms 94 and 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which
Esau is that throne of iniquity. He's the one bringing this. All right. And you're going to have a lot of people go down and because this is going to lead to the MOTB. All right. And they're going to fellowship with the throne of iniquity by getting the MOTB. But read it again from the top.
Psalms 94 and 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Right. It shouldn't. Right. It shouldn't. But our people didn't take heed to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, stretching his hand out into them. All right. By way of his servants, the prophets. You got it.
Yep. It says, which frameth mischief by a law.
That's all he does. All right. That's all he does. So this genius act, and as it says officially, the guiding and establishing national innovation for U.S. stablecoin act is a U.S. federal law that establishes a regulatory framework for payment stablecoins. So the stablecoin is federal law now. Just like with the Federal Reserve, which wasn't federal, but they framed it into law anyway. All right. So that was the beginning of the theft of the people of the land. And so this is going to take what remaining little wealth that the people have. And again, I have to say, metered and monitored money. And when I say monitored, it means you're going to spend it on what they tell you to spend it on. And so there goes the rest of your little freedoms and the rest of your little sovereignty and the little pretend wealth that you did have. All right, because all you niggas had was pretend wealth. Well, they getting ready to take that from you. But you got it out.
Gun. Before we hop into it, I get this definition of Trojan horse because it's in the title. I read the title. It says Thursday Live. The MOTB is around the corner. Stablecoin or stable coins, but stablecoin is the Trojan horse to the CBDC. And ultimately, it ain't just that we waiting on the CBDC. No, we know that's going to be the very system to bring forth Revelation 13. The MOTB, they just can't bring and put C-hips in everybody when they don't have a framework. They ain't got nothing digital, no stores digital. They ain't got nothing. They can force people to buy and sell with it. They got to set everything up first before they could give the MOTB and put it in people. And that's what's going on. And they passing it, but having the American people, being entitled, having the so-called freedom that they think, they just can't come out and say a CBDC, and that's Lord willing, we touch on that here. They're using the word stablecoin, and that's why it's the Trojan horse. They're using stablecoin so it could be borderline, or that's just another Bitcoin type of thing. That's just another digital dollar like that, but it's something different this time. You see?
That's why. No, you good, brother. You good.
No, you got it.
No, I didn't have nothing. I was just saying that's wild, bro. Yeah, you about to bring it.
Man. Because think about it. Go
ahead.
Because we can't just keep going on day to day forever. Some have to happen. We have to move on to the next stage. Revelation 12:12, he know he got a short time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the definition of Salaki. What you finish?
That's the house scripture right there. That's the Thursday watch house scripture, Revelation 12:12.
Okay.
If it don't come out, it's gonna get mentioned. Mm-hmm. But no, you got it.
Okay. So I want to go into this definition of Trojan horse, and we'll get into it. We got a good bit of videos we want to play, but it says Trojan horse. From an AI overview, it says a hollow wooden statue of a horse in which the Greeks concealed themselves in order to enter Troy. Now I'm gonna go into a picture. So you had the Greeks send this to Troy as it was a gift, like, hey, we blessing y'all, we blessing y'all. So they disguised it as something else. But within that, you had Greek soldiers up in there, hidden in there. So as they brought this in the city, as if it was a gift, put it in the city. Once the doors closed, you had the soldiers hop out and started killing the people, so on and so forth. So it's the sky is coming in, but it got another meaning behind it. It got something behind it, and that's what stablecoin is. That's what it's being set up to be. It's the Trojan horse, but the army inside, that's the CBDC leading to the MOTB, man.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So we'll hop into it. Now, this is just one to kind of start it off. So this from shtfplan.com. This was put out July 21st, 2025, so 3 days ago. It says the wearables trap, how the government plans to monitor, score, and control you. And I just read a little bit. And again, all these articles, they already in the description box too. But it says, I started right here. It says, matter of fact, let me take this off the screen. Let's see. So it says bodily autonomy, the right. It says the right to privacy and integrity over our own bodies is rapidly vanishing. The debate now extends beyond forced juices or invasive searches to include biometric surveillance, wearable tracking, and predicting health profiling. We are entering a new age of algorithmic authoritarian control where our thoughts, moves, and biology are monitored and judged by the state. And that's Revelation 13 all the way. And also Revelation 3 and 10. This is the time that all the world is coming under that one plan to have this digital system. It says under the guise of public health and personal empowerment. See, as a guise is all fake. Under the guise of public health and personal empowerment, this initiative is nothing less than normalization of 24/7 bodily surveillance, ushering in a world where every step, heartbeat, and biological fluctuation is monitored not only by private companies. And remember that, and this is important. This is important for this lesson. And I think it's Elder Ahrayahla video. He go mention it out of all these videos. And again, I'm mentioning that because I was thinking about that earlier. The Elder Taza. That's the real experts right there. You know, him, the Elder Require Quan, because not only is they touching on and making the same points, if not better, than the worldly points that Esau and them make to make it easy to be understood, but they could tie it to the scriptures. So that's the real experts. So we don't just play Esau, you know, Captain Austin Fitz, you know, Mike Adams. No, we play them too. We play them too. But this is an important point right here because it says biological fluctuation is monitored not only by private companies, keyword private companies, keywords, private companies, but also by the government. And they saying the stablecoin is going to be pretty much operated by private companies. And I think it's Elder Ahrayahla video, if I'm not mistaken, but he made the point and said when Trump came out, he been doing this whole time. He been giving shout outs to his private company homeboys. Right? His private company homeboys. He been bringing them into governments, so on and so forth, because they doing that link right now pretty much. Man, we'll play the videos, but it says in this emerging surveillance industrial complex, health data becomes currency. Health data becomes currency. Tech firms profit from hardware and app subscriptions. You say something?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, damn.
Yeah, this going in. It says in this emerging surveillance industrial complex, health data becomes currency. Tech firms profit from hardware, app subscriptions, and insurers profit from risk scoring, and government agencies profit from increased compliance and behavioral insight. Risk scoring. Like we always bring up that episode on Black Mirror with the female. I know the Apostle Tahar, he mentioned it a couple weeks ago. The female, everything you do in that world, you got judged, your score went up and down, and it took away certain benefits that you had in society. That's what it's coming to. That's what Esau want to do. And we seen it right before our eyes. Chief Ephraim, where you at? Bishop Nate, IUIC, Bishop Nate, where y'all at? And it's going to become more and more blatant in the days to come. That's why I think it's Ezekiel, the 12th chapter. The Lord said the days shall come when it's going to be no more said any vain vision or flattering divination within the house of Israel. You ain't going to be saying what you want to say. What you feel. Do a breakdown and say, well, the MOTB not it. No, it's gonna be in your face, in the people's face, so you can't deny it no more, man. And the Lord gonna put every one of them in a corner. The Apostle Paul often said, that's gonna be the, well, I'm paraphrasing, but that's gonna be the deciding factor when this thing is mandated, man. Within Israel, that's gonna be the deciding factor. That's when it's gonna show. But I read a little. You have something?
Yeah, I'll bring this out for you. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right. And going into everything you're saying, all right, this is all just a guise, a farce, if you will. All right. And like you said, health is the new currency. Or as you read, health is the new currency. All right. That's a that's a guise. It ain't health, it's health care. So meaning they need you sick. All right, because with their monitoring, or if when they get them chips in you, they'll be able to monitor all of your bodily functions. All right, so it's no money to them in you being healthy. The money to them is in you being sick. That's why they want to get you with them vaccines or the juice, Salakia, you know. And then they sell all your info. That's why they mentioning apps and all of this. Those are the companies. Those are the corps, the corporations. They are the apps. So they sell the healthcare, sell the information to the tech firms through these apps, and then they just profit off of it. It's a dark. It's a horrible world that Esau got that he want to bring to fruition. You know, and yeah, people just going along headlong into this madness. You know, it's insane. But we know a lot of our people not paying attention. But you got it, brother.
Con, I read this real quick from the comment board. The Elder Yashawamba, Remnant Save 144, and Shalom Yahweh Bashem El Shah Brakatah. But he said, Khan, he said, Khan, it was Elder Ahrayahla that made that point to link private companies with the government. But he also said, ICE aims to expand number of migrants tracked with ankle monitors. Report. See? So that's what it's coming down to, man.
Say that again.
I'll read it again. It says ICE aims to expand number of migrants tracked with ankle monitors.
Okay.
So in other words, when they catch them, you know, it says ICE aims to expand number of migrants tracked with ankle monitors. So they're gonna start putting it out there. And that's why it says Revelation 13, free and bond. Free and bond. You know? But Esau, and also, and see, Esau gonna start doing it like that, and that's what it's saying in Revelation 16 too. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna get it real quick. Revelation 16, we gotta link that. I mean, not Revelation 16, 2nd Ezra 16.
Oh, okay, Colin.
When it says, and we'll get back into it. I want to play these videos. But when those troops start grabbing people up, this is gonna be one of the things. The 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 68. And this really Revelation 12 and 12, but it's more detailed. 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, talking about them troops, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And the greatest idol in this time is going to be that RFID micro C-HIP, the MOTB.
The MOTB, that's going to be the biggest idol. But I mean, if you look at Jake was comfortable. When Trump was campaigning, a lot of Jake put Trump in office. You know, because they was idle. You know, settle on their leads, comfortable. And now his calamity is facing certain of them. And they think it's wrong. But no, it's right. This is This is judgment. You know, it's right. You should have took heed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Lord gave warning for 70 AD. He prophesied and gave warning, niggas didn't listen. And then they got hemmed up. Well, Jake getting ready to get hemmed up again. So they don't listen. But it is what it is. It's all through the spirit. But yeah, brother, it's about to get rough out here. You got it.
Rough. 2 Ezra 16 and 16 will continue. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you." So once the troops come, grab certain people, put them in concentration camps, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. And this is gonna be the time it's gonna be mandated, man. And I'm gonna finish this, read a couple more sentences from this article because it's gonna mention GPS tracking. Since the Elder Yashawamba mentioned that, it says the convergence of health, technology, and surveillance. That's Revelation 13. It's not a new strategy. It's just the next step in a long, familiar pattern of control. Surveillance has always dressed as progress. Every new wave.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now it says every new wave of surveillance technology, GPS trackers, red light cameras, facial recognition, ring doorbells, Alexa smart speakers has been sold to us as tools of convenience, safety, or connection. But in time, each became a mechanism of tracking, monitoring, or controlling the public. And what began as voluntary has become inescapable and mandatory. We can move on. You got some on that?
Man, who are those three guys that we did that show on last year? I want to say they was with Trump, but it was three tech guys. You had played the video. You probably remember. It was big CEOs, some big time guys. One was Asian.
Yeah, I got you. I know it's the tall weird dude.
Right. I can't remember the names.
Here it is. The picture. Sam Altman. So you got Sam Altman. I remember him not by face. And you got this the freaky one in the middle. I know he's freaky. Him. But let me see. Here it is. So it says President.
How you know that?
I don't know. He just look at him. I don't know.
That's the Edom in it.
The scriptures say by man countenance, you could tell us, how he coming.
Right. Hold
on, let me see if I could type it and find it. Find Sam. All right, here you got it. So you got it says from the left, you got Donald Trump, and you got the Asian guy is Masayoshi Son, which is the SoftBank Group CEO. That's his name. And in the middle, you got Larry Ellison, chairman of Oracle. It says Larry Ellison, chairman of Oracle Corporation and chief technology officer, and Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, so on and so forth. So that's them three.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just making some notes for myself. But yeah, all this is tied in. They all about to make a whole lot of money. Boatloads of money. All right, at our expenses. But you go ahead, brother.
So we'll go ahead and play this first video. Now this from
OpenAI?
Yeah, OpenAI.
Okay.
Well, that's Sam Altman, OpenAI.
Right, Sam Altman.
So this first video, we'll play just a little bit of it. I was laughing at you earlier, Elder Tazapa, on what you said about it, because after I rewatched it, I was like,
Yeah, you see what I was talking about, huh?
Yeah. Even the
title. Yeah.
And it looked the title.
Pagan.
Yeah. It's funny because
I can't hear Pig no more, man. He fucked up Pig for me.
Yeah.
Alizé did. Motherfucker.
But I'll play it though. We'll kind of play just a little bit. And again, all these things in the description box.
From, and if you happen to be new to the channel, see those who hound me, my God, we entering into a phase where drop an amen in the chat or in the comment section. So, okay, let's get into some primary subject matter here. So, let's just hit refresh real quick, look at some market activity, and of course, everything from this channel is centered around rethinking the dollar, understanding that what we were told is not always the case. So it's up to you to go get.
So, like, I should have the timestamp on this one. I really
truth, whatever that is to you. And when it comes to truth in reference to the monetary system, gold and silver has always been numero uno.
All right, here we go.
And so I got some things here. Let me see if I can stay in order if I can. But let's just start off with this commentary first, and then we will jump right into it. So it's real short, sweet, but it's someone compiled a snippet of some things that I think is worth mentioning, and we will go from there. So just check this out.
Trump wrote an executive order on January 23rd, and specifically on exactly what the Genius Act is about.
It's kind of low. I don't know if it's low to y'all. Is it low to you at the top of the
Which is a ban on a central bank.
A little bit, I can hear it, but if you can turn it up, that'd be good.
They are.
It's kind of low. Let me see. His video is always, real low though too. Yeah, that's the most I can go. Hopefully, Lord willing, y'all can hear it. If not, it's in the description box. But this Marjorie Taylor Greene pretty much saying how this Genius Act, it got a backdoor way that a CBDC can be allowed. And we're gonna start with this one. So we're gonna play along.
January 23rd, and specifically on exactly what the Genius Act is about, except they did not include what was in his executive order, which is a ban on a central bank digital currency.
The Genius Act has a backdoor capability into a central bank digital currency, and they are they're having a second vote on the ban on central bank digital currency. That should be included in the Genius Act. That should be a part of the Genius Act. It should not be separate. Trump.
Okay, so there you heard a short 30-second snippet, which encompasses a lot. And let me just kind of paraphrase it in a sense. Donald Trump, when he first came in, no CBDCs, we will not do CBDCs. And so he came out with an executive order, which stated no CBDCs, but it promoted stablecoin usage. And of course, he was big on stablecoins. Once again, none of this is his idea. This is all just stuff his advisors and the teams around him are telling him what is ideal. So of course, he just says,
right, Isaiah 10, these things are already written in plans. Trump just happened to be the face of it right now. So this is nothing his plan. This is not nothing Trump thought he was in the office. You're like, we think we should do. No, he just signing off stuff. Think about it. When you see him signing, he don't know what's in there. He just getting the man, say, yeah, this what this for. He said, oh, okay. It starts. He don't know.
Yep.
Stablecoin usage, and of course he was big on stablecoins. Once again, none of this is his idea. This is all just stuff his advisors and the teams around him are telling him what is ideal. So of course he just says sure. He goes on tweet storms and rants. Okay, sure. Stablecoins are always a part of the equation. So CBDC got a bad name under the previous administration because it is a global phenomenon every country's working on. So in order to pull this off in the U.S., you can't be direct and upfront. You have to sugarcoat it. You got to get a people propaganda. You got to get them something to distract them, to make them think that we're not for that, but finding a way to work it in through some fine print somewhere that nobody happens to read when they sign these bills. So here we are now. Stablecoins legislation is official. The Genius Act is officially signed as of this past weekend. And just for those who are skeptical and question everything, such as I do, anytime the government gives you a bill that's labeled as something beneficial, the only thing they can do is ultimately bring hurt, pain, and destruction in some capacity. And so once again, the Genius Act clearly is a cover for something a lot more sinister. And it has everything to do with a lot of politicians, as well as myself, realizing that they can't tell you a CBDC is coming, but they can lay the framework, because it's all about rewording things, making it appear as if it's not possible, while all along it's going to be weeded in some form of fashion. And of course, because it's all digital technology, i.e. ledger, transactions, whether private or public, it's still in the framework. So here we are now. Genius Act is passed.
And that's the key.
Comes
That allows them to get the framework. As he said, that allows them to lay the foundation. So when they do come in, you know, with the MOTB, it's already there. They can, you know, roll it out without too much, you know, alarms going off. And in doing so, it's laying the foundation for what they need to bring in the MOTB. So like you said, the ledgers and all of this, they can do it through stablecoin. It'll make an easy transition when it's time for the CBDC to the MOTB. If Most High might even cut out a CBDC. But, you know, that would be the logical step, would be to go to the CBDC and then to the MOTB, you know. So this would allow them to have that framework already in place without raising too many red flags. But you got it.
No, that's it. And really really at the end of the day, what it's going to show is you can kind of borderline, but not really say it because certain things still have to happen. But this kind of borderline, the CBDC is right here. They just using stablecoin. Like they just that's
really how I look at it.
This really might be from stablecoin to MOTB. MOTB. That might be the pipeline right there. Stablecoin MOTB.
Well, I mean, we gotta hasten the day. Ain't nobody else gonna do
it. The Lord will shorten the time.
The America gonna hasten the day. Who and where is he that's gonna hasten the day? So yeah, let's hope. Let's hope the Most High cut it out. But you got it out.
Now that's it. I play just now. Let me see what's next, because we can move on. Let me see.
Comes next, and those are all the things we're going to.
That's why it was good to start with these first two, because that set the tone for everything else that's about to be shown. That word stablecoin, Esau just using that for the American people, really, because it's time for America to get their digital system off the ground and up and running. Everybody else been doing it. They trying to catch China, and we're gonna play a video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it earlier. We're gonna play it again. This is Spirit Trump coming in.
We're still in the earliest days of one of the most important technological revolutions in the history of the world. America is the country that started the AI race, and as President of the United States, I'm here today to declare that America is going to win it. My administration will use every tool at our disposal to ensure that the United States can build and maintain the largest, most powerful, and most advanced AI infrastructure anywhere on the planet.
What this executive order will do is establish fast-track permitting and ensure that the federal government is working to get data centers approved and through the permitting pipeline as quickly as possible. What this next executive order will do is promote the export abroad of American AI models to ensure American AI dominance in the future. And lastly, sir, this executive order will ensure that when the federal government procures or promotes different AI models, that those AI models are ideologically neutral, that they don't embrace wokeism and critical race theory and all of these terrible theories that have done so much damage to our country.
So that's the Spirit Day coming in. We'll play that back when we get to it, you know, Lord willing. But we'll move on. So now this next article comes from naturalnews.com, and they got a video attached to it, which is an hour and maybe 50 minutes long, but we'll just play a couple minutes of it. So this was put out the 21st, so 3 days ago. It says Trump's Trojan horse, how stable coins are secretly paving the way for a CBDC control grid. One more time, how stable coins are secretly, keyword secretly, paving the way for a CBDC control grid. Right now, this is an interview with Catherine Austin Fitz, and it's the beauty, man, of following the apostles. You know, like the elder started with, pastors according to the Lord heart, to feed the people. Because one thing, and I always got to bring up what Bishop Nate said, because it stuck with me. When Bishop Nate said, when you know, brothers caught him up on a point about there's gonna be no more Jacob's trouble, and he said, what I meant, morons, was that nothing was happening at the time. That right there. Now again, you know, the apostle had the dream. Bishop Nate may be a prophet, but in that was indirectly saying you're not a prophet, because prophets don't wait to stuff happen. You know, and that's what a lot of camps gonna start doing, and not just start doing. You see, they do that when World War III kick off. Their Chief Ephraim, boy, you know, it was Iran and Iraq, man. Man, you don't know what's going on. You just seen an article and you just talking because you heard Ezekiel 38 and 2000 something, 1990 something. You just remember it. You ain't been following it. You ain't been keeping up. And I'm not saying that in a proud manner. It's because, you know, it's true though. But, you know, following the apostles is like we're following every step of the way. So when these things happen in 1 Thessalonians, the first chapter, the 5th chapter, the first verse, if a brother want to post that, we know the times and season. Why? Because we've been paying attention to it. So when it's the big event about to take place, we won't be shocked or caught off guard. We're going to be expecting it because we've been following it the whole way, the build up. We see it. The prophets see it, man. Salakia, you know, but
It's good.
It says how stablecoins are secretly paving the way for a CBDC control grid. So I read a little bit and we'll just play the video. It says the financial coup d'etat, and I got that definition of coup d'etat. It says coup d'etat, or simply a coup, is typically an illegal and overt attempt by a military organization or government elites to unseat an incumbent leader. It says a sudden, violent, or unlawful seizure of power from a government. And we see Esau often do that. You know, so they saying when and how Esau do that, he'll go in a government, set up something that's fake, you know, a fake uprising, you know, put the leader out and put a fake leader that's set up with him in there. But now they're saying it's a financial one. They getting the old way out of the dollar and they bringing in a financial system under it, but they doing it in a secret manner. With the stablecoin thing, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just an advanced Bitcoin. We taking Bitcoin to the next level, you know, and we making it better, you know, by the dollar now, and not just backed by nothing, but it's by the dollar now. Making it so good. But it says the financial. You got it.
Oh, go ahead. No, you good.
It says the financial coup d'etat accelerating under the Trump administration isn't just another power grab; it's a carefully engineered trap. While the public is manipulated by congressional charades and media distraction, stablecoins, marketed as the vehicles of decentralized finance, are quietly evolving into a backdoor central bank digital currency system. This isn't fringe conspiracy theory, it's confirmed strategy from the architects of global reset. That's a good way to start that article.
The architects of global reset. You see? Yeah, financial coup d'etat. This is Bon Malak, GMS Austin. Austin's in the house. And it says, Psalm 64:5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Then that's Esau. Well, matter of fact, let me get verse 4. Let me get verse 3. I'm going to start at verse 1.
You got it.
Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And all this that's coming out, as you mentioned earlier, you know, you mentioned Isaiah 10, this is grievousness that had been prescribed. All right. Right. This has been, all of this that's coming out has been spoken in private councils, you know, discussed, if you will. And now it's coming to fruition. They're ready to bring it to fruition, bring it to light. All right. But it all started in secret. So it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who's getting ready to come, Jacob's trouble, who whip their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? All right. And the stable coin is a snare. It's going to rob you of what little financial freedom that you have. All right. But it's right. They're going to frame it as, you know, as you said, convenient. You got to worry about it being stolen and all this. They going to hype it up, but it's all a deception. That's with all this whole smoke and mirror kingdom, man. This whole kingdom is smoke and mirror. All right? But our people keep falling for it. So it says, verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. It said, but the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. All right, and that's I'll stop you right there. But right,
we gotta hit verse 8, Salakia.
All right, Psalm 64 and 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So yeah, you want to say something on it?
You got it. You know, that's just Esau. That's why we got these articles. The Lord, that's prophecy being fulfilled. They're telling on themselves, and now you've been exposed. You know,
yeah, that's the whistleblowers and all these, you know, people that come out and may have been part of their organization, you know, or knew somebody who was, and they come out, you know, with the information, whether they've been slighted or they just was horrified by what they heard, and they come out and bring it out to the world. And that's the thing. Information is out in the world. How the money, how the dollar works, the Federal Reserve, all how women, even if you want to get educated on women and their, their behavioral patterns. The information is out here. Why are our people still so engrossed in darkness? But we know the answer. But you have to think about it. There's really no excuse except that they're here to be destroyed. Our people are here to be 2/3, at least here in America, are here to be destroyed. And us brothers all throughout Great Millstone, they're just bringing out pearls, man, jewels, just unbelievable in the form of this knowledge. And our people don't even, they discard it. They don't even recognize it for the value that it has. And it just shows, man, that, yeah, that's why, that was Ezra, right? He said, give me any plague, but the plague of the heart. Mm-hmm. Man, when the Most High bug you out, and that's all people. But right, Esau, getting back to Esau, they've been working these secret councils, shooting, privately at the perfect. How it go? Said, yeah, laying snares privately for us, the children of Israel. A brother had posted a video of a chick. She was like, damn, the blacks. She was talking about, us, of course, and the natives and all of us, Jakes, saying, why is it that we're persecuted like we are? Just behind the color. She said it has to be more than that.
Right.
It was heavy that she said that, because people don't stop to think. Why are we persecuted so? But that's why Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, resonated with all of us, that, the Most High put the spirit on to awaken. A lot of us were awakened by Deuteronomy 28 because it just made sense. It answered that question that she asked. And she could have been a Jake. But why people don't ask that, more often? Or, like, why? Why am I catching this much hell? They'll blame the Most High, but they won't ask why. Or take any accountability as to say, is it something I'm doing? They just go to blame the Most High. But anyway, yeah, we are the targets. So going back to the video, the chick said, why? Yeah, because we are the Most High's chosen people. We are the protagonists, as Esau is the antagonist in this major motion picture in real life, in time. All right, real space time. All right, that we call life. This is the Most High's movie that we living out in this third realm of existence. That's why the apostles say, you go to the spirit world, it's more real than this world. But this is where we come to play out the script. Everybody got to play their part. So Esau playing his part as the antagonist, he got to shoot at us. But we prevail as the heroes at the end of this. All right? Those who continue in the faith. Those who endure unto the end. All right? Because Esau getting ready to shoot his best shot. And you ain't gonna make it with no earthly, worldly means. Most High gave this man a high spiritual technology to take you niggas out. 2/3 of you niggas, the Most High gave this man high technology to fuck y'all up. And I'm saying it like that because through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men.
That's right.
Esau getting ready to pull out all the stuff. This is last shot. What they say in the world, make your next move your best move. That's what Esau gonna do. But you got it out.
Well, like Carmelo Anthony said, I just happened to stumble across his video. Esau coming into a 7 p.m. moment. If you watch the video, you get it. I want to do a lesson on it too, but because I want to do a lesson on Cat Williams' response, But he said it's 7 p.m. moment, the moment when you lock in, when you gotta lock in, it's time. You gotta watch it. It's that time. Esau gotta lock in. It's a 7 p.m. moment.
Right.
But so we'll go ahead and play a little bit of this video because it is a couple videos, Lord willing, we'll be able to play. And it's crazy how fast time be moving, man.
I know, man. Time.
But I'm gonna just highlight in this article what she gonna talk about. You have to check it out. So it says stablecoin kind. Just to tell you, the stablecoin ain't really what they telling you. It says the stablecoin kind, a digital palette of cash for global financial enslavement. And she also said in this video to check out a movie called G20. I don't know where it's playing or what it's on, what site, but she said the actress in it is Viola Davis. I'm sure we all know who that is, as the U.S. president, and she rolling out a global farm credit through a stablecoin system to hijack food supply chains and enforce one world banking. I ain't see it. I just heard it. We got to check that out. But the next thing she talked about is to replace. The next thing she talked about is to replace local currencies. The next thing, to inflate the treasury market. Check this out. Next, to enforce, keyword enforce, social credit. Right now, we'll play a little bit of this video and we'll get Elder Ahrayahla and Elder Yashawama vid next. Remember, as we go in these videos, they're gonna just add more to what the previous article or video talked about. I told you, hey, Mike, he deep in the AI.
To do it, I don't always succeed, but I always try.
No, I hear you. Right there with you. Every time I'm cleaning out my chicken house with a rake, I'm like, of his role.
That it's a journey. It's never over. You're always trying to do it You know, I don't always succeed, but I always try. And
No, I hear you. Right there with you. Every time I'm cleaning out my chicken house with a rake, I'm like, I'm trying. I'm pretty sure this is good.
At Solari, we call it turtling. We're turtling.
Turtling.
Yeah, because it's very important to keep your state of amusement and never quit. No matter what goes on, you just have to take forward action, no matter how small or tiny. It's just continuous, and so we call it turtling.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Now, Todd, I know you've got lots of questions prepared. Let me just start with the first kind of introduction question for Catherine. I think, Catherine, you are known as someone who just courageously speaks out about the dangers of how, in some ways, President Trump is a Trojan horse for introducing a CBDC system, centralized control currency system. Are you seeing yet more confirmatory evidence that plan is in place?
Yes, every day. So last summer on Money and Markets, which is a show I do on Solari Report, we took the position that the establishment was going to use Trump to institute the control grid. The other team, the Democrats, weren't moving fast enough. They weren't getting things done. And so I said, they're going to use Trump to do this. That was about 6 weeks before the Butler event. And so that's what's happened. And if you come to Solari, we have an article called Trump Administration Accelerates the Control Grid Fast. And we update it every week with all the things the administration is doing.
I want to cut it off. Elder Taza Power. Remember those Illuminati cards?
Hell yeah. Con. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Con.
Yep. Yep. Trump the man.
Accelerates the Control Grid Fast. And we update it every week with all the things the administration is doing. I was doing shows at the first 3 months after the inauguration, and there got to be so many steps that the administration was taking to build the control grid that I finally said, look, we've got to have a collection on the website and keep a list because there are so many items. It's impossible to, keep them all on the tip of your tongue.
And what about Lutnick? Because he's right there with Trump all the time. And there's a lot of fishy sort of historical data points about Lutnick that people are talking about all of a sudden. What do you make of his role?
So I think the two people who seem to be playing the strongest role are Besant, the Secretary of Treasury, and Lutnick. And I don't begin to, and of course, Steve Miller in the White House, and Susie Wiles. So you've got the sort of people in the White House, and then it's the Treasury and Commerce, which are I think, the real powerhouses right now, though there's a lot going on in the State Department. But I think the instructions are clear that they're pushing for central control now. There's a big effort both in the Congress and the administration to say no CBDCs. But if you look at what their plan is for stablecoin, it's basically
this key right.
A CBDC with less obligations to Congress than if it was done directly through the New York Fed. Essentially, it's going to be done through, I think, primarily the New York Fed member banks who own the New York Fed will have subsidiaries. Other people will be allowed. It's going to be done through the Treasury and Commerce, which are I think, of the real powerhouses right now, though there's a lot going on in the State Department. But I think the instructions are clear that they're pushing for central control now. There's a big effort both in the Congress and the administration to say no CBDCs. But if you look at what their plan is for stablecoin, it's basically a CBDC with less obligations to Congress than if it was done directly through the New York Fed. Essentially, it's going to be done through, I think, primarily the New York Fed member banks who own the New York Fed will have subsidiaries. Other people will be allowed to do it too, but I think they'll probably command the market share, particularly internationally. So if you apply the social credit system they're building with Palantir and the Doge effort, I think you're going to end up with something far more dangerous than CBDC.
Well, a quick follow-up, and then Todd, it's all yours. I apologize for
Hey, that's cool. She said that. I didn't catch that when we watched it earlier. She said it's going to end up with something far more dangerous than the CBDC. That's the MOTB.
Right. And she said with less obligation to Congress. That tells me everything I need to know right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it for the constitutional government that we knew. Yeah, they don't need Congress. If you got a chip in you and they control your money, you don't need a vote. What you gonna vote on? And that's the whole point to this. Take away your freedoms. So in Congress has been since Biden administration, been lame duck. Congress, all of Biden and now into Trump administration, Congress ain't been doing jack shit. Just passing this all these like this Genius Act. And what was the last one before that? They had something else. Well, damn it. But yeah, all they doing is passing these dystopian, unrighteous decrees. Salakia. That's all they do. Passing these dystopian, unrighteous decrees. But yeah, you got it.
I gotta back you up because you said there's gonna be no need to vote. Remember, Klaus Schwab already said that it's no need for elections.
Shit, they gonna tell you everything you gonna be doing. But go ahead, you got it.
Real quick.
Digital technologies mainly have an analytical power. Now we go into a predictive power, and we have seen the first examples, and your company very much involved into it. But then the next step could be to go into a prescriptive mode, which means you do not even have to have elections anymore because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
Right.
Right. So what? Yeah. And you heard it from the man himself. But he is the founder or the head of the WEF. But yeah, you got it.
We'll play a little bit more of this. And another thing she said too, and that's how they doing it to speed it up too. That is not linked to the government. Don't gotta go through passed through this and pass through that.
Checks and balances and all of the red tape, the bureaucracy of government. Yeah, they just as she said, the power is in the commerce and the what did she say? The commerce and the treasury department. That's where the power is right now. All right. And that's gonna be doled out to these tech billionaires. Yeah. Apps and all that we were just talking about. But yeah, you got it.
Now, and that's a beautiful segue into what Elder Ahrayahla gonna talk about, because he's saying they're taking those private companies, the tech side of it, and they go pretty much link that to the government. That's why Trump been giving them shout outs, so on and so forth. This is gonna be the way. This is gonna be the way. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
The social credit system they're building with Palantir and the Doge effort, I think you're going to end up with something far more dangerous than CBDC.
Well, a quick follow-up, and then Todd, it's all yours. I apologize for hogging the show here up front, but a follow-up question on that. Is Trump's creation of a new stablecoin legal ecosystem a plot to find a whole new market to sell treasuries into? And the 10-year, I think, just today went over 5%.
So it was up at 5% earlier this week, then it came off, and then if it's back, it's back today.
It's back, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, that's it on that one. Now she go in on a whole lot of other stuff. I think it's like the 19-minute mark. She went on how Trump is gonna be the man. They used him because the American people will believe what he say. Man, but you'll watch out. I want to move to this one. You had someone at Elder Tazapah?
No, you got it, brother.
All right, come. So we'll go ahead and play this from Elder Ahrayahla and Elder Yashua Wamba they did 5 days ago. Is from Remnant Save 144 Ba. It's path to the MOTB stablecoin. Right? Path to the MOTB topic stablecoin. So I'm gonna just play a little bit of it.
Today and gave remarks.
I had no problem with my internet. Zero. Man wants to act crazy. Camera off. Let's see if that helps. Oh shit, it'd be all right there, because I'm just gonna play a little bit of this. The rest is just gonna be going through scriptures and some stuff that I pulled up on Grok that I got.
Regulatory framework for the roughly $250 billion cryptocurrency market known as stablecoin has become law. President Trump signed the so-called Genius Act at the White House today and gave remarks.
And with today's signing, we're pushing even further into the exciting new frontier. Just as I promised last year, the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself.
Bo Hines joins us now from the White House. He is the executive director of the President's Council of Advisors on Digital Assets, more commonly known as the Crypto Council. Bo, I know this is a huge day for you, so thanks so much for spending a little bit of it with us.
You know what's crazy is that whenever this stuff started happening, we were doing these lessons about this and basically forecasting what we see here now. And people thought we were absolutely ludicrous. We were conspiracy theorists. We were kooky for telling you that the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter and 14th chapter, when it talks about the mark of the beast, that these elements that Esau's pushing out here ties into how they're going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, and that you would not be able to buy or sell unless you had this mark. These legislative pushes that you see are huge with fulfilling this prophecy, and they're moving at lightning speed. Okay, when Bitcoin really hit the scene in 2009, and no one even really understood until it went through its first bull cycle, people just was like, oh, you know, that's just gonna be like the tulip, you know, the tulip movement. You know, it's gonna be, you know, something, a fly by night thing. We're like, no, man, this thing is gonna allow for the digitization of currency. Now they're talking about you're gonna have a dollar-backed stable coin. Well, basically, it's just the dollar. It's just the currency, and people are gonna see it as the same thing. They're not gonna look at it like, oh, dollar back. They're just gonna use it as it is. This is how they get you. This is how they get you. They real slick with it.
Crafty.
Okay, real crafty, man. You know, Psalm 10:7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Constantly, man, they utilize legislation and bills, this and that, to push their agenda. And what the end game, the end goal is what? The MOTB.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That Hebrew word in Genesis where it says the serpent was more subtle than any of the beasts of the field. That word is Ahrayahla, which that has both a positive and a negative, you know, connotation, but it means subtle, shrewd, crafty, sensible, prudent. So he's prudent on the left-hand side. You know, he's drawing everybody into this system, you know, phones, technology, dependency on, you know, electronics and all of these various things as a form of buying and selling. It was a very prudent plan, you know, it was a very cunning, you know, subtle way that he's brought you into the system, even going on what you're going into now. Just seeing how this is that serpent from the garden ruling now, you know, ruling the whole world, you know.
Facts. Okay.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So can you just explain what this law does in practice, especially when it comes to offering more protections for consumers who either invest in crypto or want to, but they're not sure?
Sure, yeah. So this is landmark legislation that overhauls the entire financial system. It creates new payment rails. For U.S. consumers, these rails will be much more transparent, more efficient, more cost-effective. So a stable coin is literally a digital dollar that's backed by a real dollar in a bank account somewhere else. And so what we have here is, you know, we're pushing U.S. dollars globally. It gives others in different parts of the world the opportunity to have dollar-backed stable coins in the account. It keeps their money secure and safe. For these stablecoin issuers now, they have to be one-to-one backed. They have to prove they're one-to-one backed in an audit. So we have now full transparency of what they're doing. You know, we're onshoring a lot of the folks that were engaged in this space in the beginning. But, you know, I can't overstate how big of a deal this is. You know, this lays the groundwork for tokenization of.
You have tons of stable coins that are already out, decentralized stable coins. Coinbase has its own stable coin called USDC. Okay, you have USDT, all right, which is the Tether Corporation. You have what's called Ethereum DAI, which is a very popular decentralized stable coin. And these stable coins are backed by dollars. Some can be backed by dollars. Some are backed by other cryptocurrencies, and some are just backed by just leverage. Which is just insane. Okay, just pure loans and bullshit. So but then you have, I believe USDT is backed by different treasury bonds, dollars, different basket of like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have something like Ethereum DAI, which is completely backed by all types of different cryptocurrencies. That way, because as you're trading these things, you don't want for it to be worth $1 in one place, but then you have it worth, 98 cents somewhere else. Because then you can get something that's called arbitrage, where it's like, okay, well then I'm gonna buy the 98-cent one over here in this exchange, and then I'm gonna come sell it for $1 over here at this exchange, and then I can get, that flip.
Right.
You see? So I'll just buy $10 million worth of 98-cent stablecoin over here, and then sell it over here, and then I'll just make that profit. So why it's backed by these currencies is to do what it's called is keep it stable, right there pegged at $1.
Kind of want to pause it real quick because I looked this up, just watching this vid. Now this is in my Chat GPT history, because it's they will make the average American make it seem as if it's just a type of a Bitcoin type of thing, but it's backed by the dollar, is all good. I'll read this real quick. I just said the difference between stablecoin and Bitcoin in simple terms. It says stablecoin, and pretty much what the elder just said, it says tied to something stable, like the US dollar. It says the main goal is to keep a steady value. It ain't go flux. It's pretty much go have a somewhat of a value, which the American dollar don't, but it says to keep a certain value, a steady value. It says used for easy digital payments, avoiding crypto price swings. It says examples USDT, Tether, so on and so forth. It says Bitcoin not tied to anything. Its price goes up and down based on demand. How many people invested into it? Who into it? Right? If it's hidden right now, the market, so on and so forth, it go up and down. It's not like that. So this stable coin is actually so-called tied to the dollar now, as they're saying. So now they could use this as a form of currency. And it says Bitcoin main goal be a decentralized digital currency like digital gold, used for investing, storing value, and sometimes spending. Price changes a lot, so it's more risky. In short, stable coins is steady and stable like cash. Bitcoin can grow and drop like an investment. And the thing is, people already in the digital system, when you really think about it, yeah, people still have cash, it's cool, but a lot of places you go to, they ain't even accepting cash no more anyway. But everybody check their bank account on what? A digital phone. Nobody really have money no more. People don't have, the money stuffed under the mattress. The big, some people got it, but the safe, the big safe, people got, digital numbers. They look on the screen that they don't see physical money no more, and it adjusts according to how you spend it. It just now they get tied to one finances, and by way of the government, now they could put laws on top of it, which is that credit score. They could link them together. So now they can, and with this, they can control it. They can cut it off if you ain't acting right, how much you can spend, how much you can get. Matter of fact, I think the brother Taz put it, Taz Apanya, is programmable. Boom, right there. He said, stable coin is programmable just like a CBDC.
And that's the question. So you asked that question, the difference between Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and stablecoin, but what's the difference from stablecoin and the CBDC? Not much. After what we just brought up and what Elder Ahrayahla just said, it's the same goddamn thing. Because the corporations are the banks. If stablecoin is owned by corporations, the corporations are the bank. That makes it a CBDC. Unless I'm seeing something wrong.
No, that's it. That's it.
Well, that's what y'all saying. I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Nah, that's it. That's it.
That's what I'm hearing. That's why I say you said it a while ago. I said, yes, I see it the same way as a CBDC. It's just that they could take that moniker off, but that you go up high enough, it's the same players. It don't matter that it's going to a bank. It's just like you say, all they show some shit on the screen. They don't even need a bank no more. They don't need banks. They don't need Congress. They don't need government. That's the whole point of the Internet of Things and the Internet of Bodies. They want to do away with flesh and blood. They want to have you in a matrix. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the banks are the corporations are the banks. The corporations are the one that's gonna be behind it. That's why I'm gonna look up them guys and some other names. But yeah, I'm gonna see what Whitney Webb talking about, because she the research. You know, you was talking about the experts. We got ours, but hey, you'd be crazy if you don't utilize Esau. You know, utilize that left too. You know, you got to be ambidextrous in this truth. But you know, in balance. You know, but yeah, man, I don't see it no different. But you got it.
A matter of fact, in this video right here, Catherine Austin Fitz, she mentioned Whitney Webb.
Right. I did hear her say that.
And I think she said, I don't know, I have to go back and watch it, so don't quote me, but I think she said at one time a company that she was at, which is the woman on the screen, Catherine Austin Fitz, at one point in time, Whitney Webb was like an intern or something now, you know, like, if I'm not mistaken, I have to go watch, you know, so they're in that same company, if so. But I want to bring this out too, because in that same line, and we'll go back to the older video and we can finish it off. So in that same line of questioning on ChatGPT, which the Elder Ahrayahla, he also asked a similar question. That's why, you know, again, what made me ask ChatGPT this one, because he asked Gronk his question. But
okay.
I says, will the USA, and this your answer right here at the Tazapah, it says, will the USA stablecoin be a way to bring in the CBDC? And the answer on the screen, it says, that's a great question. And yes, many experts believe that the US stablecoins could be a stepping stone toward a CBDC, central bank digital currency. And here's a simple breakdown. It says what's happening right now. The US doesn't have a CBDC yet. Instead, private companies issue stablecoins like USDC, USDT, which are tied to the US dollar. Remember that, private companies. It says they are mostly used in crypto markets and digital payments. Because stable coins lead to a CBDC. It says possibly, here's why. So it says stable coins is issued by private companies, but a CBDC is issued by the government. It says stable coins is pegged to the dollar. The CBDC is the digital dollar. It says the stable coins less regulated, CBDC government controlled. Stable coins faster payment. You got something?
No, I'm listening.
Stable coins faster payments than banks. You just said that, no reason for banks. It says, and who even go to banks? And look, people don't really go in the bank to get money. They don't go talk to people no more. They just go to the ATM, if anything.
You go to the bank, you need a loan or some shit, you know. Right. Yeah. You know, they structuring everything, man, as we knew it. Everything is going digital, meaning, yeah, we don't need them old institutions like banks, schools, churches, even. All that's digital too. Go ahead.
It says in CBDC even faster and backed directly by the Fed. The US might use stablecoin adoption as a test run, seeing how people use digital dollars before launching an official CBDC. The US would likely replace or work alongside stablecoins in the future. So you see where it's going. I checked it. I thought this was cool. The big picture, stablecoins, the warm up, the CBDC, the official game. Come on, man. And that's the MOTB system finalized. When the CBDC gets set up, really, that's the foundation of the MOTB pretty much gonna be finalized at that point. Now all you need is some event, couple events, some drastic things happen in the world. Boom, MOTB. So,
that's man.
I go back to this.
Okay, and so what they're doing is they're going to take over the game at the exchange level, meaning how you enter and exit the market. Meaning you cannot enter and get into the game until we got all your information, got all your specs. They're going to say, oh, we're regulating the space. We're going to make the space more safe so you don't get scammed, because you don't want to be scammed, right? Well, we're here to protect you. We're going to regulate these markets, so it's going to make it less volatile and safer for you. Well, meanwhile, it's a complete takeover. It's a complete takeover of the cryptocurrency market. And this is how they do it, okay? They come crafty like that, all right?
Public securities. I mean, it revolutionizes our financial system.
And Bill, obviously, with all things that have to do with new technology like this, it is a race, a competition. Does the Genius Act do anything to make sure that U.S. stablecoin issuers are going to be the gold standard and that world leaders, recognize this in some way?
Well, even the stablecoin issuers that are offshore now fall under this regulatory regime, which is why this is so huge. Look, the most sought after thing in the world is the U.S. dollar. They're injecting that into foreign economies, and this secures U.S. dollar global dominance for decades to come. One of the stablecoin issuers that's offshore is going to be the fourth largest purchaser of U.S. treasuries, including all countries this year. I mean, that's a remarkable statistic. So now we're not relying on foreign actors any longer. Or just buying U.S. debt, you're going to have private enterprise doing the same thing. But who stands to benefit from this is the American people, the American consumer. This technology is revolutionizing the financial system in really tremendous ways. And a lot of what's happening in the crypto space is propelling that forward. So, this is an industry that had been broadly beaten down and kicked down over the course of the last decade. They were victims of policy making through prosecution and persecution. And now we have a president that recognizes their legitimacy. He stepped up in a huge way to lead the charge on this. And also, I'd be remiss not to thank our brilliant AI and crypto czar, David Sachs. He's done a phenomenal job. He's been the guiding star. This is just fantastic pipeline.
And this is how they do it, man. They're merging the private and the public sector. This is why they're going the stablecoin route, because it allows corporations to join in. When you listen to the speech that Trump gave, he spent 15 minutes shouting out all these different government and corporate elites.
Yeah.
Okay. From the Coinbase people, I believe he shouted out the people from Robinhood, the people from Tether, all of these different corporate entities are going to govern your world. That's called fascism. When you merge the corporate entities with the government and they're governing and regulating your life and how you move.
Boom. Come on, man. That's it. That's it.
And how you bank. Oh, you good? You good?
Man, that's it. And that's everything that from and man, we'll kind of get through the rest. They ain't really long videos, but that's it right there. That's what we about to see. Trump, and what you brought up, them three characters from tech. It's time to merge that digital sector with the government, and that financial sector is all about to happen. Because with the government comes finances, on the other side too, but health, and on the government side, they're gonna be able to make laws connected to that, man. I forget what video it was on the Tazapa. It was maybe a year ago. But it was somebody, I don't know if it was your boy Richard Warner. I don't know if it was him or somebody pretty much made that point. I think it was him, if I'm not mistaken. But how the government go be able to at this point on their side make the laws, that's how the social credit scores go come in, because now the government can make the laws. It ain't just like a Bitcoin. Bitcoin is so-called like buying and selling, with a digital investment, but nobody could tell you how to do it, how much you can spend, and so on and so forth. But with the government, it could, now you have laws because it's the government. And it's and on the side is digital finances, digital healthcare, all that's about to be merged and linked in together. That's what's happening, man.
Yep. That's it.
And it's under the guise of, just we are accelerating our system. We got to keep up with the world, America first, to keep the American people going. They just think it's like a Bitcoin thing. They don't think it's gonna be that serious, and they ain't go see it. They ain't really go see a change like that. It's just more stores gonna say we don't take cash. And I want to point this out. Yep. They already coming with incentives. Naturalnews.com put out the 21st, 3 days ago. It says Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill launches new savings initiative.
Trying to think about it. The One Big Beautiful Bill. Go ahead.
Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill launches new savings initiative offering a $1,000 at birth and long-term investment incentives. Come on. They already started with it. It says...
Yeah, it's here.
Check this out. Salaki, you got it. Salaki.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
No. It says, I'll finish it real quick. It says, under President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, every U.S. baby born between 2025 and 2028 will automatically receive $1,000 in a government-created investment account called Trump account. They doing it. It says families can contribute up to $5,000 annually after tax, so on and so forth. Contribute, funds, ages 18. It's in the chat, it's in the description box. But it says the program is praised for its automatic enrollment and universal access. But critics say it is regressive, benefiting wealthier families more since they can make larger addition, it goes on. But yeah, they already start with incentives to get people down with it, man. If you sign up, you get $1,000. The people want to do a PPP loan, just a stimulus check. Remember, Trump came with the stimulus. It was Trump that came with the digital stimulus checks. That was him. It was Trump that came with the Operation Warp Speed. It was him. And but people didn't see that. Nobody, the right ain't talking about it because it's Trump. It's Trump.
Well, that's the beauty of the two-party system. That's how you can keep playing the one side against the other to keep the con going. That's how you keep the con going. And the water Tazapanya Yumkin. Right. I misunderstood what you were saying a while ago. Yeah, he was saying that stablecoin is programmable like CBDC. So I misheard you a while ago, but yeah, the water after that. But yeah, brother, go ahead, bro.
Kind man, Salaki too. I can, brothers got some fire on the comment board. Let's see. Yeah, we could end it off. We pretty much done. We could end it off with those brothers' precepts. But I'm gonna rewind this from the elder Ahrayahla because that was the main point. That's what they're merging, the private sector with the government, pretty much.
Damn. Yeah.
Corporations to join in. When you listen to the speech that Trump gave,
now we have a president that recognizes their legitimacy. He stepped up in a huge way to lead the charge on this. And also, I'd be remiss not to thank our brilliant AI and crypto czar, David Sachs. He's done a phenomenal job. He's been the guiding star. This is just fantastic bipartisan.
And this is how they do it, man. They're merging the private and the public sector. This is why they're going the stablecoin route, because it allows corporations to join in. When you listen to the speech that Trump gave, he spent 15 minutes shouting out all these different government and corporate elites.
Yeah.
Okay. From Coinbase people, I believe he shouted out the people from Robinhood, the people from Tether, all of these different corporate entities are going to govern your world. That's called fascism. When you merge the corporate entities with the government and they're governing and regulating your life and how you move. You see?
You didn't even elect them. You don't know who they are. They just pop up.
Exactly. But how they did the trick, the one thing that I noticed.
Let me see what he goes.
And I tried to find it in this clip, you know, but I couldn't find it. Was they talked about we're not gonna do any CBDCs.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Trump talking about he ain't gonna do the CBDC, but he also said you was gonna expose the Epstein, but you didn't.
Right,
you know?
right.
So who can believe you now? And if you're not gonna do it, why is you signing framework and you all about being the number one in AI drip? You gotta come on. And the thing is, Trump have to do it. He have to do it. Just what you just said is the other side to make the people go along with the illusion.
Yeah. See.
Let's see what he got to say.
Narrative, and especially those that actually hold the Tether token. The second and most frightening one is why are stablecoins starting to look and act like government-backed digital dollars? And then last, what does this mean for the future of decentralized finance? Where I try to compile a lot of forcer. So I bet you didn't know that Tether has frozen over 2.5 billion in their dollar-backed tokens as of today. And that's not a side feature. That's a core.
So what he's saying right now, because I'm just skipping through it because we about to end it, Lord willing, in a few. But he's saying one of these stablecoin companies, they already froze, which is Tether, already froze certain accounts, which shows they got the power. These stablecoins have the power to cut off your account, to freeze your money, to put how much they want, take how much they want from. It's a CBDC, man. This is a test run.
They do. And while it claims to act in partnership with global law enforcement and often does so in response to real crimes, the underlying truth is extremely unsettling to some. See, this isn't about Bitcoin per se, where you can lose your keys and say, oh well, tough luck enforcement, and often does so 2.5 billion in their dollar-backed tokens as of today. And that's not a side feature. That's a core function of what they do. And while it claims to act in partnership with global law enforcement, and
they act in function with global law enforcement,
often does so in response to real crimes, the underlying truth is extremely unsettling to some. See, this isn't about Bitcoin per se, where you can lose your keys and say, oh well, tough luck. Tether can reach into your actual wallet and turn the key and lock it, not through backdoor, but right through the smart contract itself. So they bake that power into the system. So think of it like a bank with a kill switch, except this one is global, operates on a chain, and doesn't need your permission in order to act. So
like it, I gotta get it.
Yeah, so blockchain is the bank.
Real quick, Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. That's when the MOTB be mandated. Every person get tried. It's the point though, which shall come upon all the world. That's what he just said. It's a worldwide thing that's going on, man. To try them that dwell upon the earth. And this is the event right here. Revelation chapter 13. I get straight to the point. In verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great. And look, Chief Ephraim asked the question. We'll play a video next. Trump saying we gonna be the ones to, we gonna be the ones to lead this. The beast system, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, charagma. To receive a mark, charagma. To receive a to receive a mark, which is charagma. No, it's charagma. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that's the MOTB, man, the RFID micro C help. And I'm making, jest of Bishop Nate when he corrected, I think it's Yuri. It says, and that it's and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. That's what it's leading to, man.
Yeah, bro. And shit. Man, hey, I also see a family of the word, brother. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord of power, that I will send a famine in the land, not famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right, because, right, you talking about people's account, well, he people's account being suspended. So, yeah, just wait till well, I'm sure it probably is already linked to YouTube, but they just not enforcing it yet to where they shut your account down or start charging you fees for violating their community guidelines. So yeah, again, he's getting ready to make his move. And it's going to be, you know, all encompassing. So yeah, you have something out?
Yeah, I seen a video the other day because you know America following the Chinese system, and it says how the China government put cameras in their churches right now to monitor the surveillance of people so-called worshiping. So, but that's pretty much it. I play one more time of Trump to show the spirit that he in, that the Lord got him in right now for this digital system, and that's it, Elder Taza. I had a quick video from a quick.
The Fed opens the door. A new era for stablecoins is just around the corner. Oh, no, don't tell me this. The Fed is ready to finalize stablecoin, here's the key term, regulation, okay? Chair Jerome Powell emphasized that the U.S. is now closer than ever to establishing a comprehensive legal framework for stablecoins. They're going to regulate. In other words, with regulation, you don't need Congress. You can just kind of tweak your regulations yourself.
And now, my big question to you is, will the Fed now system work with stablecoins? Because if it will, John, then what you're talking about is this global push with stablecoins will literally put the Fed in charge. And what we may be looking is the Fed workaround to having to get legislation for CBDCs.
Well, I think that's exactly right. The Fed read the
room. They're working around legislation.
Room correctly on CBDCs, understood that it wasn't going to ever
Fed workaround to having to get legislation for CBDCs.
Well, I think that's exactly right. The Fed read the room correctly on CBDCs, understood that it wasn't going to ever fly, and now this is the workaround. This is just go through the back door, go through stablecoins, whether it's called Fed now or some other thing. It's the Fed is there in stablecoins.
If there are articles talking about them negotiating with Ripple to let Ripple stablecoin on the Fed system.
Right.
Because Ripple is doing so much wholesale clearance for the, globally for the banks. So that tells me that if stablecoins integrates with Fed now, then we're watching a new global system that literally works around. We're talking about a major workaround around SWIFT that puts the Fed at the top.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very fluid. We'll just have to see what comes out of the Congress. But I think you have to keep I keep a daily eye on the Fed and Congress when it comes to what they're talking about doing here. If they add the market structure bill, that means
right. But I'll play this one more
on it. What this executive order will do.
As we gather this afternoon, we're still in the earliest days of one of the most important technological revolutions in the history of the world. America is the country that started the AI race. And as President of the United States, I'm here today to declare that America is going to win it. My administration will use every tool at our disposal to ensure that the United States can build and maintain the largest, most powerful, and most advanced AI infrastructure anywhere on the planet.
What this executive order will do is establish fast-track permitting and ensure that the federal government is working to get data centers approved and through the permitting pipeline as quickly as possible. What this next executive order will do is promote the export abroad of American AI models to ensure American AI dominance in the future. And lastly, sir, this executive order will ensure that when the federal government procures or promotes different AI models, that those AI models are ideologically neutral, that they don't embrace wokeism and critical race theory and all of these terrible theories that have done so much damage to our country.
That video really said a whole lot. And what everything just said, they about to skip around the government. They about to put everything in law. We going digital, and we don't care about no LGBT. We don't care about none of that no more. We blocking all that off. If you with it, you can get cut off now. That's the spirit they coming in.
That to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of it. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So he's getting ready to cause all right, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which is going to be tied to the digital world, cyberspace, all of this, this new age shit that, everybody, there's all the rave in the world. Everybody just, like the scriptures say, they shall, all the world shall marvel at the beast or wonder, behind his technologies. Well, with all of his technologies, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to word. I put it this way, all right. With the system that he's creating, he has to make a way in the devil that he is to create a way to profit off of it, enslave the people. And that way is the MOTB, what we're reading right here. All right, so it ain't enough for him just to have the technology, to bless mankind with the technology and give everybody, something useful for a change, which would be a change for him. But no, he comes across something great. His first idea, being the devil that he is how can I weaponize this, profit off of it, and take out as many people as possible. And so this is what he's doing, creating this system, which gives him the ability to play the Most High on a very small level. He gets to play the Most High for however long the Most High allows it to go on. He's gonna get the system in place, but as the prophecy goes, before he's about to fill his belly, the Most High is gonna upset him. Loosely paraphrasing, but he's gonna get to, bring a lot of this into fruition. And when I say a lot, I mean to bring the death that he's looking for. He's looking for blood. This ain't nothing for our benefit or to progress mankind and humanity. This is for blood. And as I said earlier, he's doing the bidding of the Most High. But it's blood all the same, And so this system, this technological terror, this system that he's putting in place, which is digital, as well as, quantum, all the other stuff that he got going on. He wants to get everybody, he wants to get everybody into it. And so this mark ties you to the beast itself, all right? And then you become a permanent bastard until the Most High put you out your misery, because it will be misery. You're not going to take this MOTB and think you're just fixing to have a good time. All right, as the prophecy goes, all right, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to close it out on this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can take it out. This is, oh, you know what? No, that 15, Revelation 15. Or that's 16. Yeah. 16.
What's that? How I go?
No, with the pus or the open wound. It's either 15 or 16. I believe it's here 16.
I got you. There's Revelation.
Bring that back. Go ahead, Doc.
Revelation chapter 16, and I'll start at 1. It says, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
And upon them that worship the image. So, you know, it's just going to show this is not going to be an easy way out. You're not going to take the mark and, all right, but it's going to be offered to you under duress. That goes into the hour of temptation. All right, it's going to be a temptation tied to them offering you this MOTB because of this system that's in place and him causing all. System is tied to your job, it's tied to your education. You women love your college and your school. It's tied to your health care, as we went into. It's tied to everything. Y'all love the church. It's tied to church. So you won't be participating in any of that. Little Timmy can't get his breather for his asthma, you know. Big Mama can't get her the diabetes medication. So these are the temptations that's coming to the people that the people ain't ready for. And that's how he's causing all through the cyber system, this digital technological terror that he's constructed, all right, to put you in a virtual prison. And so on top of the Most High messing you up with one of the violations, he's allowed to have you doing whatever because he'll have control over you. So, right, in other words, his technology, you take this MOTB, you'll get cancerous and cantankerous sores. There ain't no telling what this devil gonna have you doing on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that was you gotta bring out the judgment. We talk about the MOTB. We gotta talk about judgment. The Most High is gonna jack you up. That's not an easy out. So that was it.
That's it. Hey, well, with that, Lord willing, you know, there's information. There's Thursday Live was edifying. Again, we see it coming. That's man, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. At the end, it shows speaking, not lie. We clearly seeing that. You know, we don't have to wait on the event. We following the progress. But Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them. And peace and blessings to all you Joachim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And the water again, Joachim, for the precepts. So like we weren't able to get them all, but hey, the water.
We ran along, brothers. We wanted to get them, but man, the water, because you know the people still can watch the ship seal.
Con.
You know, con.
So with that, you know, Lord willing, you know, I would say until next time, but we rather something happen between then. But if not, until next time, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.